Welcome to Chaos Conjure,
the podcast where we navigate the complexities of being pagan in an Appalachian mountains.
This is Jay.
This is Dottie.
Fill your sippy cups.
Put on your grippy socks. And grab your magic wands.
Notes.
I told you. You know, notes on graph paper, like those are serious notes.
My notes.
All right, welcome to another episode. I think we're on the fifth one.
4 or 5. 282.
Something like that.
Lots.
And we're officially starting to lose count. We have 16 subscribers. I'm very proud of us.
Yay! And we didn't pay him. Yay!
All right, let's, welcome to another Chaos Conjure with...
I'm Jacinta.
And I'm Dottie.
Neither one of us is sane.
It's Monday. It's Monday. It's
Mondaying.
It's a very Monday.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been fighting off a depressive episode, so I am running about quarter speed.
Oh, I'm full fucking throttle. I'm full throttle. Because, yeah.
So we're talking about cryptids.
I'm on this. Okay.
Right.
So, in my research.
Do we want to address the elephant in the room?
2, 3, 4. Hold on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I came up with 13.
13 cryptids. Are there
And
West
what's the
Virginia
elephant in the
cryptids?
room? Yes, what's the elephant in the room?
Well, it's not really an elephant. It's more of a moth.
It's a bug.
It's a bug.
Man.
Bug man. The only good part of Point Pleasant, I'm far enough away I could say that.
It's Mothman. You got a point. So, let's start with Mothman. Point Pleasant, he was first seen in 1966.
Right.
1967, he was on top of the Silver Bridge. And it collapsed, killing like 35, 40 people. That wasn't too cool.
No.
And he's been seen off and on since then. And they did replace the bridge.
Replace the bridge?
It's not called the Silver Bridge anymore, but there's a bridge just like right next to it.
I knew it took them forever or something.
Well, I mean,
like,
who was going to cross the river? Who wanted to go across right there?
The bridge did fall down.
The bridge went down.
I talked to somebody who was actually crossing the bridge that day, and they said that because you know when you get on a bridge, it moves a little.
It moves a little bit, yeah.
He said that bridge was still. If you are on a bridge,
the bridge should give a little bit.
Yeah, if that bridge is still, you get the fuck off of it.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Mothman might be sitting on top of it.
Well, yeah, no, but
not to make light of the situation, because a lot of nice people lost their lives and things, and there are still people that were there. There are people that have lost loved ones there. We're not making light of the fact that people lost their lives. We're just kind of laughing at Mothman in general.
Because it's become a whole industry. That
Very
motherfucker's
much
probably dead. He was from the 60s, 70s.
I don't know.
I
don't know. Okay, so another one that's common that everybody knows about, because we're in Appalachia, is Bigfoot.
Really?
Yes, except for here, we don't call him Bigfoot. I got new glasses, y'all. Still can't see for shit.
Those are cute.
We call him Sasquatch, a wood booger, not what I would call him, the Beast of Gum Hill. I still don't know where Gum Hill is.
I don't know.
And the West Virginia Yahoo.
You know, though, like...
But it's all the Bigfoot Sasquatch.
Okay, no, I want to say something about the Bigfoot Sasquatch thing, because I hate to break it to a lot of the people coming here hunting Bigfoot and Sasquatch, but that's probably somebody's uncle. That's probably... You know you've met a man... My husband, love him dearly. If he runs around without a shirt, he's liable to get cited. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, we're going to keep moving.
I'm just saying.
We're going to keep moving.
I'm just saying.
We're going to keep moving because...
Tell me I'm wrong, though. Like...
She's right.
No,
tell her
I
I
talk
said it,
shit
but
about
she's
my poor husband. He is a good man. He's a good man, but I call him my little fuzzy bear because he's got a rug for a back.
Hey, I've never seen him naked. Don't plan on it. Okay, so then we have... So we have other they're calling them monsters. We have other cryptids that are from specific places.
Right.
So we have the Flatwoods monster. They call her Braxy.
Yeah, because
So-
it's also close to Braxton.
Right.
That's what I
So they're calling her a she. Was spotted in 1952. So the description is Braxy is like 10 foot tall, has a spade head that kind of goes like that, glowing red eyes, and apparently she has body odor.
Well, that's very rude of people to. Well,
She
whatever.
stinks.
I realize I'm like coming out of the screen here. I forgot my camera at home, so we don't have like the
Gotcha.
best setup.
So yeah, Flatwoods monster. They call her Braxy. Then there's the Grafton monster. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I did my research. There's the Grafton monster. He was seen in June of 1964 for the first recorded time. So he is a massive creature. He's smooth. He has pale skin and no visible head. He's over 7 foot tall and up to like 500 pounds. He looks like a tooth.
Do you know why we got so many cryptids that are first sighted in that time period?
Yes, but he looks like a tooth. He looks like a giant tooth. The pictures I've seen, he's a giant tooth running around.
I know a guy who met a cryptid. They called him Mike. They called the cryptid Mike, but he said it was like he didn't think anything of it because you get used to some weird shit out in the woods.
Absolutely.
You make neighbors, you make friends, you get used to some weird shit. And I've got some run-ins with a couple of interesting beings that don't feel just a little different, not
Right.
certain, But he was, I guess, out in the woods with his buddy, and he said that this white figure, he just knew him as Mike. He said it was like 7 foot tall, white all over, and his buddies are freaking out, and he's just like, "Hey, Mike," and the thing looks up, waves his hand, because in West Virginia, that's very common to greet somebody. You just kind of, I can't see him like, Mike, that's the Mike now. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
It's okay. Okay. So, did you know Beckley has one? There is a Beast of Beckley. Beckley's like an hour away. It's a Beast of Beckley. So it's a shadowy, fast-moving figure that runs through the woods, which describes
I was gonna
everybody
say.
in West Virginia. And there's no proof, but it's a local legend. But and it says it walks upright. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
I think that is funny though.
That cracked me up. Then you have
They're just mad because they didn't get a special one.
right. Then you have the Ogua. Right, you'll like this one.
Okay.
The Ogua is a water-dwelling cryptid in the Monongalia River. Okay. It says it's massive. It looks like a turtle or an alligator, and it's about 20 feet long and has 2 heads. And it's been seen since the 18th century.
That sounds like West Virginia. Welcome to the dark heart of Appalachia.
Right?
Did you ever hear about the big catfish?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was real. Like there was the
Yes,
slaughterhouse.
they literally got a giant cat. Yes.
Yeah, they dumped all it was very bad, very unethical disposal practices, and basically they were dumping slaughterhouse leftovers in the creek, in the river.
It created a giant ass cat.
It was just like dumping it straight down the gullet of a catfish.
Yep. Welcome to West Virginia. Okay, so then we have.
I'm gonna wait till she's done listing off, and I'll tell you why we have so many cryptids.
Right. So we
One of the
have
reasons, anyway.
the snarly yowl.
What?
It's Luther. It is in the Eastern Panhandle, and it is a big black dog.
Now, see,
I
that's
couldn't
another
wait
one.
to tell you that. The snarly yowl.
The snarly
I
yowl.
love
There's
that.
so many. That is a whole species.
I love that.
That is cute. That is a
Yes.
cute name.
Okay, then what else? We have the Veggie Man from Fairmont. Right. Veggie Man from Fairmont, 1968, because I wrote dates down, baby. Fairmont, 1968. So he's a tall, spindly limbed, suction cups on his hands or wherever they are, and he makes high pitched sounds. He's got green skin and he looks plant like, which is why they call him the Veggie Man. So they think he's an alien. And he tried to speak telepathically to some guy named Jennings, something or other. His first name was Jennings. So He was speaking. He was doing. He was trying to speak telepathically to Jennings. Then
See, this is why
hold
you
on,
don't
'cause
go
there's
trespassing.
more.
This is why you
There's
don't
more.
trespass.
Right. Okay. So then there's Ingrid Cold,
That sounds like a name.
doesn't it? So they call him the Smiling Man or the Grinning Man.
Oh.
So 1977, which is after I was born. Okay, on I-77, all those sevens, near Parkersburg. So he communicated telepathically with a guy named Woodrow something or other, and he said that he was an alien from Lanulos. No idea where that is.
You ain't from around here.
Fact. Then we have the Snallygaster, who's been seen over a century. Dragon-like, is part bird, part reptile, with tentacles and a screeching yell. This is one you need to watch out for because this one takes your livestock and your kids.
It's a big
And your
damn
kids.
turkey vulture.
Right. Then you have Monangi. It's aquatic, large amphibious humanoid. So it's a merman with amphibian skin in Monongalia County, and it only shows up after it rains really hard or it starts to flood, and that's what we're experiencing now. Then the last one on my, I have two more on my list. Okay, so then we have the sheep squatch. And the sheep squatch is also called one of the white things. So this one is from Boone, Kanawha, and Mason counties. We are in Kanawha County, y'all.
Yeah.
And so
seen shit here.
it was seen in the mid-90s. It's a large bear-like creature that kind of looks like a sheep, has like a sheep's head on it, hence sheep squatch. Has sharp teeth, and it stinks as well. And then my favorite on here, is the Bat Boy.
Bad boy.
So in the 90s, in the tabloids, the World Weekly News, because I had to write that down, apparently some little 2-foot tall bat boy was found in a cave in West Virginia.
I know somebody who knew somebody who had a whole family full of tails. Like,
I mean,
like the family really had like flippers and tails.
white people have tails.
What?
White people have tails.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were white, but
Black people have the Mongolian spot. It's like where your butt's blue.
oh yeah, I've heard of that. But no, really, so I know I've got a buddy who works. They work. I don't need to tell no more detail than that.
At a job.
Right, they got a job,
Extra detail, they work at a job.
and they were talking to their coworker.
At a job.
At their job out, and the coworker was from Lincoln County. And you know that the woods are God's land is only one county over ever. You know what
Or
I mean?
in somebody else's backyard.
Somebody else's
Literally.
backyard. Yeah.
Literally.
So she was talking about when she grew up, there was a family of people they had. They were limited in their social exposure. Yeah. And they had tails. They had like walleyes and tails.
And they were.
All one family. Taken by the state. Which I think is unfair. They were surviving. No, I mean some red hook, almost fish people, but realsies. I don't know what to do with that, but there you go. You know, these are real people, so I really do want to show some compassion that there are people who have
Tails.
tails.
Yeah.
We gotta be careful, man. When I say, if you have a tail, I am not discriminating against you. I just think it is a unique characteristic.
I'm not making fun of you. It's a tail.
I almost want to edit that part out.
I mean, I'm okay with it staying in. It's a tail, and I'm not making fun of the fact that you may or may not have a tail. That's not what I'm doing. Because that's messed up. Unless you want to keep your tail, and then it's not messed up. But yeah, to each his own. If you're happy with it, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, but no, that stuff really happens. People really do occasionally have a tail. It was a whole family of them because it was a recessive trait, and when the breeding pool, the family tree is rather.
So now I'm going to crack jokes. Are they related to cryptids? I'm just asking now. I told you. I warned you. I'm going to crack jokes
So here
now.
in West Virginia, listen, I'm
In
just gonna
Kentucky,
say,
in Kentucky, it's legal to have sex with animals. I don't know that for sure. I need to look that up.
I know
before
they said
that.
it was in West Virginia. It was like under
Is
60.
it?
Yeah, as long as the animal's not under a certain weight, and I can't remember if it's 40 or
Is it?
60. I mean, I guess I can understand. A cow could definitely refuse consent because you get kicked by a cow, you got what you get for not getting consent.
I'm looking this up, y'all.
Well, while she's looking this up, I'll tell you
'Cause
some stories.
I'm-
I've run into some cryptids. Luther runs with one of those. Was it bark yow?
It's not legal in West Virginia.
Anymore.
But it does state clearly, West Virginia had previously been the only state without a law explicitly criminalizing sexual assault of animals. However, they have since passed legislation making it illegal. Maybe that's why we haven't seen so many cryptids lately.
Maybe. Okay, so we always crack joke in our outro. There is a comment about not deer.
Yes, I see. I didn't even put that on my list because we talk
didn't, though,
about the
like-
not deer all the
Well,
time.
yeah, you talked about. I didn't even think about all those like famous cryptids, but like cryptids are commonplace in West
Yes.
Virginia. You see,
Yes.
like I don't know anybody who hasn't seen.
Yeah,
a
because
deer.
that's just like 13. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th just passed. But I figured, we're talking about cryptids, I'd do 13.
Right.
But yeah, that's, there are so many more and that aren't even listed.
Yeah.
And there are some that I guess they kind of cross over. I think they kind of cross over. Like my family would call it one thing, and your family would call it something different, but it's like
Right.
almost the exact same thing.
And there's some stuff out there that you see, like the reason it's called a not deer is because it's
Not a deer. It
And-
looks like a deer,
Right.
but it is not a deer.
Deer are very, very common. Whitetail deer
Yes.
are extremely common. And honestly, they're more dangerous than the cryptids because I know everybody, you ever hit a deer, you know you've hit a deer. Like, and you do everything you can to avoid them. You don't speed on West Virginia roads unless you know the road, and then you really shouldn't, but we all do. But a deer will total your car.
A small deer.
Yeah.
A small deer that is roughly 150 pounds can total your car.
Yeah. And
They're convinced they can jump over the car, and they'll try.
oh, yeah, I'm not sure they're not trying to take us out sometimes. I'm not convinced, like, the land is angry and it's using the deer to try to take us out. Because every now and then, yeah, it'll take your car out. It is an experience. I've hit 2. I actually took one home and processed it. The meat was pretty good. It was back when I was in Jackson County.
You know it's illegal now to eat roadkill.
I know you can take your roadkill. So look that one up because I could swear
Hey,
it's
Bixby. Is it legal to take your roadkill in the state of West Virginia? Bixby's not happy with me. Hey, Bixby.
Bixby's like, what are you guys doing?
Is it legal in the state of West Virginia to take your roadkill if you hit a deer? Ew.
Is it?
It says so if you accidentally hit one. Don't be out here trying to. Don't be
trying to hit him.
It's not going to go in your favor.
Nobody's going to intentionally hit a deer. That
It
shit is
says the
always on
short
accident.
answer. It says the short answer is yes, but there are a few steps that the drivers have to go through. You have to report it within like 12 hours, and then let's see what the rest of it says.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Right.
Okay.
And you have to obtain a non-hunting game tag, and you can go to jail or have fines.
I'm sure the statute of limitations is over now. It's been a long time.
Like, that is funny.
How's the?
And then it says,
what's the
okay,
statute
so
of
this is what it
limitation?
comes from. Hold on. So this is what comes from. It says protected birds, elk, spotted fawn, or bear cubs cannot be taken home. But I guess
Fair
if you hit the raccoon and you want to go ahead and pick it up, I mean, go ahead. But you gotta tell the cops. You gotta tell the
The
DNR.
Yeah, DNR. Department of Natural Resources.
Yep.
I need to get my fishing license. We talked about that on an episode that I think I lost. That was one of them we talked about on the episode
Yes.
we lost.
So I don't know how I feel about going fishing now with mermen and giant turtle things. with
You know,
two
a
heads
lot
in
of
the water.
times, as long as you're not an asshole, they'll leave you alone. I've been, like, you run into cryptids. Well, you listed off 13 cryptids that had a name, but I know there's 13 cryptids in our backyard. Like,
At the very least.
you know, my dog used to run with one of those, what are the yippee yow?
The snarly yows.
Snarly yows. You can tell that was named in the 1800s, but that is a cute name.
It is.
It is an adorable name, but a lot of times I hear him called the Grim. I've heard him just, you know, the graveyard dogs. I've got actually a freaking knot on my head where I saw a cryptid. We'll talk about that later. It still hurts too.
It looks like it hurts. It's green.
It's green, y'all. Yeah, I got touched by an angel hard.
Bless it. Bless it. Okay, so the cryptids, the things that we just talked about, are the reasons why we don't whistle after dark in our mountains.
Yeah.
That's why if you hear your name, you don't answer in our mountains.
Yeah, if you heard your name, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. And if you hear the, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. If you know everybody's
somebody's
in the
knocking
house,
on your door. Now that's weird. Because there's some that aren't so bad. Like, you know, there's some like the dog in the woods. Like Luther will run with them.
right?
The big dog in the woods. That's one kind of like land spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I've run into a few different kinds of land spirits. Now there's the stuff, because this was cutthroat country during the Civil War. There's not an inch of West Virginia that wasn't covered in blood.
Right.
You know. And there's between that and
The anger, the racism,
Yeah.
the fear, the love, the
Just
confusion,
it's the
the
mountains.
joy.
There are things, you know.
These trees have heard and seen things the likes we will never know.
Right. And also the chemical plants.
There you have it.
The chemical plants.
We are living. Look, just so you can pinpoint where we are.
The toilet of West Virginia. It's
After
a state
after
that
we
looks
tell
like
you,
that.
after we tell
Sorry.
you, 6 times that we're in West Virginia and we're in Charleston. Our valley is literally referred to as the Chemical Valley.
Nitro's where the dog tracks are. That's also with the highest rate of identical twins and teachers with cancer.
Damn. But yeah, it's
That's what I heard when I was a kid, anyway.
we have, the last time I sat and counted, which has been a very long time ago, some of them have consolidated. At one point, we had 10 different chemical companies
Yeah.
just in the valley. And some of them have gotten together and merged and things like that.
A lot of
But
two-headed turtles. A lot of two-headed.
two-headed turtles, two-headed fish, and literally mean two-headed fish.
Yeah.
We do not have flounder as a native species in our state. And I have seen fish that have both eyes on the same side of its head, with its mouth where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know, there's. Just so you all know, I think that, I mean, if you watch the second episode of Chaos Conjure, then I'm sure that you understand our personal political stances here. And part of that is because America has used West Virginia as a toilet in a big way. Everybody thinks of coal, they don't stop to think about the chemicals or the deforesting.
Mm-hmm.
Logging, that's the word I'm looking for. Logging.
Deforesting.
Yeah. This was an old growth forest with trees that are as wide as the building we're in that are just gone.
Yep.
And sometimes I think the mountains rage just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? So that's... So let's raise the energy back up. Sorry.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these funny things. So everybody knows about the Mothman.
Right.
We all know in West Virginia about Braxy, the Flatwoods monster.
Right.
Grafton monster. I've heard about the Grafton monster, but I didn't know what it was because I'm not from Grafton.
Right.
This veggie man thing.
That is funny though, because I can see that as somebody's papaw screwing around. Think that a lot of times some of our cryptids, at least some of our cryptids, are old people scaring people off their land. You know what I mean? Just like, I got a couple of veggies and those people.
It's the grandsons and the granddaughters scare people off of
Right.
Grandma and Grandpa's land.
That's
I've done
what
that.
happens. Go out and
I've helped with that. Not on my grandparents' land, but I've helped somebody with that.
right. And now that's not all of them. There's definitely some real cryptids out there, but
Pretty
there's
sure I've been the Beast of Beckley before.
oh, who hasn't been? Definitely the witch.
No, I mean, but literally down there. I'm pretty sure I've been the Beast of Beckley before.
So one time I was the cryptid. I got to tell the story. So you know, if you don't know, you don't see it on here very often. But a lot of times, I go through phases where I don't wear my fedora. But more often than not, I have a black fedora, and also I don't wear it very often. But I have this black stressed leather trench coat that covers from head to toe. And this is not long after I'd left my ex, and I'm riding a bus. And if you're down, and then, you know, if you ever had to ride the bus, you know that you've got to walk to the bus stop. So there's
of
some
course.
walking I'm doing at night with my fedora and my black stressed leather trench coat that you can see the stitching on from, like, you can see it's like patchwork leather, like an old school 80s style patchwork leather my dad gave me when I was a kid. It's a fucking phenomenal coat. I don't know why I use fuck so much, but there you go. So I've got this thing bundled up. And I'm walking in the dark, and if you're, you know, I'm watching where I'm walking, so the face is down a little bit. I look up, and this lady is like, oh shit, and runs across the street. And just to top it all off, I thought that was so funny that I look up into the sky and do this witch cackle. I'm not sure I can repeat, but it was like, like, that intentional laugh. I'm like, I've ruined somebody's day. I did something like that twice. So there was this other time, and I was in the middle of doing my witchy thing. So I'm doing this silent walk anyway. I'm doing a very deliberate, because sometimes when you're doing ritual, you know, you do so deliberately. So I'm doing a very deliberate, mute walk. And a couple of guys, I'm going to assume they were on meth because they were kind of like a little twitchy. They're walking by, and this guy says, hey, I'm on the middle of a mute walk. I am not going to pay attention to you.
Right.
I do not want to get the attention of a meth head. So I don't really deviate because I don't want to, but I kind of tuck in behind a truck. Just as he looks away, he's like, and his buddy's like, who are you? I can hear them still behind me. Who are you yelling at? He says, that lady that just walked away. Why? She's gone. I'm like, but yeah, so at least twice I've been the
Disappearing
cryptid.
Dottie.
Yeah, I got to be the cryptid twice. That I know of.
Funny. That is funny.
Oh.
But yeah, there are things out there. Things out there that don't go bump in the night.
Oh no.
Because they're very stealthy. Very
Yeah.
stealthy. They do not go bump in the night.
What's your favorite cryptid encounter?
Ooh. My favorite or the one that irks me the most?
Well, I've told a bunch of stories. We got time.
Okay, so I was in a car with a friend of mine, and if she ever sees this, she'll know that it's her. We were driving near where I grew up at. I grew up in Rand, West Virginia, you guys. And so we're going through Malden into Rand. And so when you go through Malden towards Rand, there's an S curve. For
Call
those
kiss
of
your
us,
ass curves.
it was not quite. It's not a. It's not a.
Not like
fold
hairpin.
back. It's not a hairpin. It's not a fold back. But it's an S curve. And so it's right at the edge of Dickinson's farm, where they had the salt works and stuff. So look into that. Dickinson's. It's JD Salt Works. It's amazing. Anyway, so we were driving, and so we were getting ready to start the S curve to go past, like the little farm or whatever, and something huge. It looked like its knees were at the top of the car, like the hood of the car.
Wow.
Had to been like 7 or 8 foot easy. Comes and it just walks like across, and we're just sitting there like, holy shit, watching it walk. We're far enough back, you know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
we're watching it go across the road. But I grew up with people, like some people I went to school with, like lived in houses close to there, so I'm aware of what like the ratio
Yeah, the
is.
topography. Topography?
That too.
Yeah.
And so
That is not the
it
word,
walks
but it's
over
close
and
enough.
like it goes down towards the river, but it goes like into the trees at JD Saltworks, like at Dickinson's farm.
Right.
And so we're like, oh shit. And I don't remember if we stopped the car or not. I would like to say we did not, but we were teenagers and we were stupid, so we may have.
Right.
And we just zoomed by, like we just took off. And so when you're born and raised down there, one of the things that everybody that's born and raised down there, that's like of my generation and like a couple before and a couple after, we take that S curve like it's a straight line. There are certain times that you just take that straight curve like that S curve like it's a straight line.
Yeah.
And when I tell you,
Or a man's roller coaster.
we were on the other side of that S curve before I could blink good, honey. But now she and I, we crack jokes and stuff online, and we say things like, "Yep, we have a list of places we're not going because they've spotted Bigfoot. Like we watch find the Bigfoot, so we know we're not to go because we've already seen him. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that we want to ever have to do again. Like it was not. It was scary. Like it was really scary, and so I didn't say anything about it for a while. And then one of my cousins, bless her soul, we were talking, and she was like, "Oh yeah, so you've seen it too?" And I'm just sitting there going,
Didn't
What?
see shit. What are you
What?
talking about?
and yeah, and like there's been a couple of people that I've talked to from down that way that have said something literally like right in that one area, like at Dickinson's farm, that they see it going across the street towards Dickinson's farm. And so I've always wanted to ask them if anything's happened to the cows, because they have like these pretty cows. I forget the name of them, but they look like Oreo cookies. And
Is it like a tourist spot?
no, the salt works, yeah.
Oh, I have to go. We should go out and do an investigation. We need to do an investigation.
Yeah, but I'm looking up the name of the cows because I like them.
Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy. Like it was a little scared. It was very not happy for. They're called belted Galloways. That's what they look like.
They just do look like
Yeah.
Oreos.
They look like. See the cow?
I'll put a picture up.
They can see that one. See the cow? It's an Oreo cookie cow. And that's what I called them for years. And then I found out they actually had a name. And I called them by their name, Belted Galloways, for probably about a year, and then they went back to Oreo cookie cows. But yeah, there's
So it's a cute cryptid.
but yeah, there's something out there for sure
There's
that comes
something
off the
out there.
mountain and goes down to the river.
So one time, you know what? Let me go ahead and tell you about the knot on my head real quick. Because I think this is when it was like the opposite of sleep paralysis. This is more of a spirit thing than a cryptid. But like I was laying in my bed and I wake up like that. Like I maybe sleep for 10 minutes. And I wake up and I see this orb hanging over my bed. Not directly over me. It was over my husband's side of the bed. He wasn't in there because he was working. Well, actually, he was on his way home. And I tell you what, it was like the exact opposite of sleep paralysis. I woke up in a blind terror, like screaming, and I slammed against my bedroom wall on this side and pinballed out of the room and ran right into my husband's arms. It was very sweet, but also I banged into my door frame. And I've got this one, and you can really see that one. Like, that looks like a tattoo.
Possibly.
It hurt. I just want to tell you all that. Since we're talking about cryptids anyway. I'll tell you more about it afterwards. I'm not going to tell you more on there. But that happened.
I've seen things in the woods, like when I've been camping.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the light deer? Because there's like two types. Because there's like two types of knot deer. There's the scary knot deer, and then there's the light knot deer. Have you seen the light knot deer?
What do you mean, like a light knot deer? Like a knot deer that's
like a light figure? No. Like it's a light. Like it's like a traditional looking. I actually saw it's
like
funny.
the deer that's out in the woods that just glows. It's just light.
Yeah, it's just made out of light. So one time.
So you're referring to the buck or the doe?
I don't know if it was the buck or a doe, because it looked like it looked almost like a CGI stick figure. Like, when they're doing the CGI, like you've ever seen the behind the scenes, and they've got the little stick figure, they're trying to figure out the space and things where it's just like dots and lines. It looked like that only in real life, and it was moving way too fast to be a real deer. I thought, like, I was like, this is not my flavor of crazy. I don't usually hallucinate. And my ex was like, did you see that? I was like, yes, I did. It was funny because this was on our way up Route 2. Point Pleasant is on Route 2, and then you would take, you don't go straight up Route 2 because Route 2 wraps around the river. There's another road. I think it's 331, I think. And
You're asking somebody. I could not tell you.
Okay, so
I used to tell you. I traveled the road, but I couldn't tell you.
I used to travel pretty much from Ravenswood to Huntington, and you go through Point Pleasant. Everybody knows Point Pleasant because of Mothman. But there's so much other shit out there. Like, if you stay on Route 2 rather than going 331, you'll go up past a place called Lakin. Mm-hmm. And that place is just wrong. Like, that land is stained with just... There was an asylum, and now there's like a women's prison, and the state nursing home where they send people that are too violent for the nursing home. Mm-hmm. So I've been through that area. I don't think I ever saw anything specific through there. It's just a vibe, man. Like, you feel icky.
Yeah.
You can tell when you have entered Lakin, and you can tell when you've left it.
Yeah, I've been up there. There's this one stretch, and it's just before you cross the bridge into Ohio. And it's just a little stretch. It's not very long. But there is something about that one little stretch of land that gets me every single time.
Is it the one from, like, Winfield to Point Pleasant?
No, but Winfield to Point Pleasant is creepy, too.
It's long.
It's long and it's creepy. But no, it's like this one little area, and it's something about it. As soon as I go through there, like, I get sunk in the chest. Like, just sunk in the chest.
Yeah.
And then crossing, so I know we're in West Virginia, but then when you cross into Ohio, you get a little ways into Ohio, and there's this big long stretch. And there for a few Halloweens, somebody was putting a school bus out in the field, and it looked like the Jeepers Creepers thing. It's not funny in the nighttime. It's not funny at nighttime.
But it's hilarious now.
It's not funny at nighttime. It's not funny at nighttime.
No, not in that area. There's a lot of cornfield, man.
Yes,
there's a lot of cornfield.
Yes, but yeah, there's a few places that are weird. Like, I've gone to my brother's house. He lived down towards Beckley, and going the back road. Like, you get off this one exit and you hit this back road before you hit like the 4-lane or whatever. And on that back road, I have seen some things walking across the street. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some things
do.
walking across the street. It's like
Yeah,
a
well,
small,
like-
it's like a 2-lane road. But I've seen things walking across the road.
It's like a shadow.
I seen a dog one day.
Too big.
It was not too big, but it stood up on its hind legs and did the little walk-off thing. And I was just like, I quit.
Yeah.
But I've also seen, like the light, like I say the lights. I've seen the eyes, like the red eyes.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
in
So
the
red
trees
eyes
because
are very common.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I
Yeah.
I would never forget. I was actually sleeping over at a friend's house. It was like one of my first sleepovers, and she had glass doors out into her backyard. And her backyard, it was a pretty decent backyard, but it's fenced in. And we look out, and there's just a couple of red eyes just staring through our soul. Like I am, like, and in the fear with it, like because it's not even like
Because you can't
look
see
like-
what it is.
Well, not only that, but like. You know when you're looking into the eyes of a raccoon or a possum, there.
You hope you know.
This wasn't that for damn sure.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It
You
was
hope
too-
you hope
it
that
was-
you know that it's a raccoon or a possum
Right.
or
It's like I don't think like deer's eyes aren't quite the same color. They're red.
yeah, like deep red.
Red. Like
that
yeah.
way. Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a proud red.
Yeah. And glowing.
Yeah. You'll remember when you
Yes.
see them. Like
But yeah, I want to go to Flatwoods. I want to go see if I see Braxy.
she's got a
She's got a museum.
yeah. She's
So
got a big
does
chair.
Mothman.
She's like a big
So she has a chair. She has a museum.
So since it's Pride Month.
Mothman has one. Hold on, and I think the Grafton Monster has one too.
You know that the Mothman statue is
Draped.
he's kind of a gay con.
He's wearing clothing today.
No, he's not.
Is he not wearing a flag or
No.
nothing? He's not wearing
He
clothing.
should be. He should be though. He's got a well chiseled ass.
I
So he's kind of an icon in the gay community around here. I actually knew a guy. If you ever get a chance to check out Mothman Ministries, he's my buddy. But yeah, they used to leave him beans.
Oh wow.
Because the whole thing.
Bless it.
It's kind of legendary. I'll drop a picture here of the statue, and when you see it, you'll understand. Like that is, it's it's well chiseled. It was a anatomically correct bottom.
Very much so. It is. It is. Okay. I want to go hunt cryptids.
I do too. Well, I don't want to go hunting cryptids because they're liable to hunt you back.
I have a unicorn hunting license.
Where do you get a hunting license for a unicorn? Okay.
The University of Michigan, of Lansing, in Michigan.
So I got to talk about this one time. This is the kind of things like, you know, when you take on a client as a spiritual worker, like, yes, I'm a professional psychic. I get people in my office all the time. It's pretty normal to have people who've got shit going bump in the night. But every now and again, you one of them cases. You get one of them cases. And of course, there's kids involved, so I'm already signed up to go. That's me. That's just me. But
Fuck them kids. Everybody's kids. Not really. I've got kids and
Right.
grandkids, and I love them most of the time.
so this person actually ended up being my friend now. I need to check on her because this lady with her kids just walks into my office, which is strange to begin with because sometimes I'll leave the door open when I'm here, but a lot of times I leave it closed because if I'm recording, I like to watch my videos. There's other businesses. I just close my door so that I'm not pestering other people and they're not pestering me. And twice while here, I have had people just walk through the door. One of them was this case. The door was open. She saw me in here and she walked in. Another time, the door was closed and this guy just walked in and started preaching at me. It was very strange. He left me like a hand. He had like a stack of handwritten out Bible verses. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do with that. But so the lady with the kids, she's like, I've got something really weird going on. And so I meet her out in the middle of nowhere. I'm meeting her in one of those towns that does not have an interstate. Like, if you're in West Virginia, you know that you've been to a place at least once in your life that's at least 45 minutes an hour from the interstate. And so I meet her in one of those kind of towns where the biggest business is Walmart. And then we go further out into the woods. At this point, I don't know where I am. I am out on some backcountry road. And we get to this house. And she tells me that this was a convent at one point. And I'm in there and like, there was a ghost there. There was a very sad ghost that I helped cross over. But also, every time I blink, it's like the house isn't there and there's a stone circle. Like, every time I close my eyes for even just a blink, I'm like, okay, the land is trying to talk to me now. And her buddy had given her a deer skull. So I'm like, hey, we'll give it to the spirit of the land. And the moment we hang this deer skull up with reverence, it was like this vision popped up to me. I swear, like, it wasn't... If you have abilities, then you know sometimes you see something that you don't actually see. Mm-hmm. Like, I could swear it was as close to me as you are. And I felt like I could... If I had reached my hand out, I could have touched it, but I couldn't see it, except in my mind's eye. And it was just like this 6-7 foot tall being of earth. Like, it smelled like... There's a smell of the forest. Mm-hmm. You know, that wood rot, fungus, floral smell.
Yep.
And it had that skull as a face. I'm like, hi. That was a moment. That was a moment. And I wish I could draw this thing because it was beautiful and terrifying. But it was just, like, kind of interested in me. Like, I'm like, oh, this thing could eat me. There's no doubt in my mind that it wouldn't even really eat me. It would simply give way under my feet and I would be no more. That was humbling. So then I tried to leave this place. She gives you, there's no GPS. There's no signal. There are definitely, if you've not been informed, there are plenty of places where there is no signal. And so then I've got to figure out how to get back out. It took me 3 times as long to get home as it did to get there. And I got lost. I ended up...
Was it?
Yeah, I ended up in Gasway.
I've been there.
Yeah, that's how lost I got. I'm passing places like Left Hand and Looneyville.
I've been to both of those places.
Yeah.
I'll be right back after this.
Okay. So that tells you how far out we are. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for a second.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all, she had to step out for a phone call. Let's see if I can change out fast enough. My foot's stuck. No! Turn the camera so you can see the door. There we go. And now we wait.
Bye-bye. cryptid now. Did you get cold?
No, I saw this in the background. I'm like, that'd be perfect for the cryptid episode. All right.
Okay. So apparently we have a cryptid in the house right now. We'll have to come up with a good name for her. Hold on, I'm going to figure this out. Give me a minute. We're going to ask GPT, whatever it is. We're asking AI to come up with her cryptid name. Let's see here.
That's a whole look.
I am...
I'm actually not cold at all. I'm actually a little overly warm. I was kind of hoping to get a reaction, so.
Cryptid name for a rainbow colored cheetah spotted
Leopard.
Is it leopard or cheetah?
I don't know. What's the difference between a cheetah and a leopard?
There's spots. Leopard looking giant cat creature from Appalachian Mountains.
See, this is how
Of West
cryptid stories
Virginia.
get started.
All right, we can call it a sky rindle. We could call it no, we're not calling it a paintwalker. A chromafern. You're not a fern though. A mottle gloom.
Model
It's a
blue?
name evoking both color, which is mottle, and lurking shadow, which is gloom. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Hold on. Midge Cat of Black Hollow. Ombra Filled. Shadow
My
in
scientific
Italian
name.
and cat in the cat family. Yes, a scientific cryptid hybrid name. Jaspero. Jasper's multicolored mineral, and a shadow or a sparrow, which odd, cryptic, and memorial.
That's a cat name.
Ridge howl. A glimmer pelt.
No, because that makes me sound like expensive, and also that sounds like I'm going to get poached.
It does, doesn't
It
it?
sounds like I'm going to get
Or
poached.
this is the one I'm choosing.
Okay.
A pride cougar.
You know, I am reaching a certain age.
Pride from Welsh for Pridefirth. It's probably Pridfirth, but it means beautiful, and cougar, ancient, regional, and mysterious.
I think I'm running out of cryptid stories. You got any good ones? You got any more you'd like to share?
Don't go hunting the cryptids. Don't go hunting the cryptids because all you're doing is getting hunted. I have been out in the woods hunting in our beautiful Appalachian Mountains. And I have heard the footsteps. I've heard the talking, the words.
Yeah, forget about the whispering.
Yeah.
It's
Heard the
things
branches snap.
The things that really creep me out are the ones that like mimic.
Yes. Cougars, something a lot of people don't know. Cougars.
Which we do have.
Which we do have here. At nighttime, sometimes they sound like screaming women.
Oh God, they do.
So, but then I'm also convinced that there's a screaming woman in the woods.
I also, yeah.
So,
Or babies crying. You know what? We're going to do a whole other episode on the spirits because we're almost to an hour.
yeah.
Well, I probably got crap.
And we've talked about 30 minutes just about other stuff besides the cryptids.
Right.
But we do have the cryptids. Like, I did my research.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Like, it's the well-known cryptids, and then there's like the day-to-day cryptids.
Yes. Yes. I want the ogwa. Two-headed giant turtle. Yeah, I think I've seen. I'm not gonna say I think I've seen. I think I've seen too many. Let's do it that way.
Right. It's kind of hard to keep track after a while.
It's really hard to be born and raised in West Virginia and not to have seen something. Something. Whether it's something walking through the woods, something swimming through the water, the things that you hear and see
Yeah, we didn't even
daily.
touch on. We didn't even touch on like the spirit stuff. We just talked about the
The
not
cryptids,
human.
right.
Because there's a lot of, and there is a lot of fae.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of just. It's like there's a crack in reality. In the mountains, like it's just
Absolutely.
further from me because there's like time jumps.
Yes.
You ever been driving and it takes longer to get someplace than it does to get home,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa?
Yes, I drove. I remember I was in the car by myself, and I know this sounds so funny. I was in the car by myself, and I was driving north. I wasn't going to Morgantown because Morgantown's never really been where I'll go to, but it was like towards Wheeling or something up that way. And I remember leaving, and I had on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and some sneakers. And I remember getting in the car and leaving. And what should have been like a 2-hour trip or something, 2 or 3 hour trip,
Mm-hmm.
it was daytime, like late morning,
Right.
early afternoon when I left. It was dark when I got there.
Yeah.
Like flat out dark when I got there. And I had no explanation on how I got there, like what took so long or anything like that. But I got there, I was in long pants. Because I had packed long pants with me because I was going to stay for a couple of days. So I had long pants on when I know I left in shorts,
Damn.
right? And then my hair was straight back then. And my hair had been down. And it was up in a ponytail. There was a food bag that was in the car. And if you know me, if you know anything about me, and now that you don't know anything about me, you're going to learn. I'm allergic to lactose. Can't eat cheese, can't eat dairy, none of that. I still do a little bit because, ice cream is
Cheese.
delicious, and pizza, calzones especially.
Oh, my shoes are weird.
But I'm very careful with what I eat because I don't like the hospital. Don't like having my stomach pumped. Don't like the Benadryl. Don't like none of that. And EpiPens are $800, and I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna start talking now. Not this episode.
But I got there, and I took pictures a lot then, and I had my camera, and I had so many pictures of outside. I had pictures of outside and like pictures with the car in the picture
Right.
where I was outside of the car. Have no recollection of it. No recollection of it whatsoever. No idea how I got there. I could have been outside playing with the cryptids for all I know.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? No idea how I got there. So yeah, there are time jumps in West Virginia.
All
Yeah.
fey gates everywhere.
Yeah.
You just like see a fairy circle or a couple of trees looking like they're trying to pretend to be trees.
Right.
Got that one leaf waving at you.
Mm-hmm. To get your attention, saying, come
Yeah,
on.
hi.
Yeah. West Virginia is a very magical place.
Beautiful place.
Very. And we have our own set of cryptids.
I saw a huge white bird with black feathers. And we think it might have been a pelican, but they're not from around here.
There is is it a stork? There's
A
something.
stork.
There's a big bird there's a big bird that does travel through here.
Right. I know there's like the blue heron. You see rarely.
Yes.
You see them rarely, but I've seen.
But they fly through here.
But no, I've seen them because they almost look like a goose flying backwards.
Right.
Like the first time I saw that, I'm like, I am seeing a cryptid. No, that was a real ass bird. That doesn't make it less majestic. To me, I think it's just majestic. Y'all, this is one of those stupider symptoms of ADHD. English hard. But no, this thing had like he's like 10-foot wingspan with like white wings with black tips. And I've never seen anything like that in West Virginia before.
Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know what they're called.
Every now and again we'll get seagulls.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know I'm all about looking up my stuff.
Right. Oh. Talking about cryptids, and there my father-in-law calls. Hello, father-in-law. You want to tell about it? I'm shooting a podcast. You want to talk about a cryptid? Hold on, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. I hung up on him. Shit.
You're in trouble. She's grounded, y'all.
He'll call back. I said, have you ever seen an unnatural animal? He said, yeah, my ex-wife.
I'm not the ex-wife.
No.
I'm not the ex-wife. I'm the future ex-wife.
Oh, yeah, no, he told me to tell you that he loves you dearly, but
We're getting married. We are getting married. We are getting married for the insurance, damn it. I'll sign the prenup.
He couldn't do it to Steve. Steve is his late husband, and he's still very much in love with his late husband.
And I'm telling you, we're going to do it for the insurance. We're going to do it just for the party.
You know he's probably cussing fiber optics up and down now.
And you know
he
it.
100% believes, because I accidentally hit the wrong button. I know I did, because I was going to hit the speaker button. It was right next to it. But he's up on his hill. Just there he is. Hey, Landis.
I lost you.
That's because you didn't want to talk to me.
No, I did wrong. I know who this is.
Right. This is our special guest, Landis. We call him Mawdaw because he was a female impersonator from the 70s.
Yes, you're right.
But we're doing we're doing an episode on we're doing an episode on cryptids, and you're our special guest.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Do I get cherry poppers?
No.
Well, hell with it. I want Jello poppers.
What would you tell us about, have you ever seen, like,
A cryptid.
a cryptid? Or just, like,
A weird something outside.
Mothman, the spirit dogs, not deer.
I see you all the time, but I love you. What? Okay, let's go back to the thing.
Yes,
Okay,
please, for the love of all that's holy, would you talk about the unholy creatures of the woods?
No, well, that would be my ex-wife.
Well, that's better.
You're silly. Okay, let me get concentrated, and you want me to do this being serious. Okay, the black shadow people. They are shadow people, and you have to watch them because they are mischievous, like the elves and the gnomes.
Hey, Landis, tell me about the thing you see at night. I know you try to be in your cabin after a certain hour up on the mountain because of something.
Yeah, well, that's the one with shadow people.
Hey, Landis, I gotta finish shooting this episode.
All right, well, I'm not naked.
And that's how the cryptid stories get started, right there.
All right, honey, I love you always. Hope this podcast will Viva la France.
Love you.
Love you always, baby.
I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of that one.
Most definitely.
Landis is very old. Landis is a cryptid.
Probably.
Like, at this point, like, he's one of those mountain man cryptids. You're like, did you see a cryptid, or did Pat Paul run out of the house again without his clothes on? Tell me I'm wrong. So that's our episode, folks. That'll be fun to edit.
It won't be too hard.
Definitely gonna leave in the comment about his ex-wife.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. But that does bring up a good point. Sometimes the cryptids that are out there, like the sounds that you hear, I'm going to call y'all. That's why I'm doing my phone. I actually have a real job. Go figure. With responsibilities.
She's playing a game over there. Don't let her lie.
I am, truly, playing a game. It keeps me from losing my mind. But, like I've seen, I know you've seen, where you're doing something and you hear like somebody's voice upstairs when you know they're downstairs.
Oh yeah,
that
the
sort
mimic.
of thing. Yeah, the mimics. I know that there was a mimic that that literally looked like someone.
Oh wow.
Like I know Josie. Josie tells the story of her grandfather. She tells it so much better than I do because it's her story, but she talks about her grandfather, seeing her grandfather, and it wasn't her grandfather. You know?
Oh, yeah. I saw one of those one time. I was playing hide and seek with a friend, and I thought I saw her run around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I look around that corner, and she could not have gotten out of eyesight that fast.
Right, right. So I've seen like animals, especially animals that'll run and cut the corner
And be gone.
and then not be there no more. So I wonder if those are cryptids.
I don't know. Some of them, I wonder if they're like cryptids or spirit creatures. Like, where's that line? You know?
Right.
That might be a good. We'll talk more about. We could talk about spirits in the next one. Eventually, we're going to get around to this protection video.
Yep. We'll do that next.
All right. Well, that's our episode, folks.
Yay.
I am not petting that dog. I would pet that dog, though. See, that's my problem. This is how I die. I saw a couple bears in the woods not long ago.
Did you?
Yeah, a couple black bears.
I haven't seen any bears this year. I've been stuck on deer probably because I'm hungry.
Yeah. Deer meat's good.
It is. It is.
Okay, folks. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode. We'll see you next time on Chaos Conjure. Chaos Conjure.
We'll decide who we are tomorrow. Maybe. This is Jay.
This is Dottie.
Thanks for watching Chaos Conjure.
Now empty out your sippy cup.
And pack away your wands.
Make it home before the moon rises.
And watch out for the knot, dear.
I bet that dog.